It's Geekazine's special coverage of Blog World New Media Expo, Voices of New Media, and it's brought to you by the folks over at Stitcher, smart radio for your smart mobile device. Continuing coverage of Blog World New Media Expo, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com and Stitcher smart radio for your mobile device. And of course, good friend of mine, just right over here, Todd Cochrane. He's actually on the booth on the other side, so he's been watching me do all these interviews. So how have I been doing so far?
You looks like you've been busy, so it looks like you're putting a lot of good content out for Stitcher this week.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of people, a lot of podcasters I've never met before. It's kind of a different show here in LA, don't you think?
It is. It's cool, and I'm glad that the Stitcher team's out here supporting the podcasters, and of course it's a great app to of course consume my personal show, Geek News Central. So I definitely encourage you guys to get subscribed to it on the app. That's the first, of course, if we're going to get the plug in, right?
Yes. The Geek News Central. Tell them a little bit about what the show, really quick, what it is.
It's a twice-weekly tech show, and it's pretty long, so you're going to have to use 2 commutes to get it. But it's produced every Monday and Thursday night, released Tuesday and Friday morning, so it's available up on the stream. And I just talk tech, I talk science, I talk geopolitics stuff in the technical world. It's a good show, have a lot of fun, and it's available via audio and video. So we're on all the devices, Roku, Boxy, Samsung Smart TV, and of course every other single device possible to consume media there is.
Okay. Now, one thing about this, you work a little bit more in Stitcher than most other podcasters, because not only do you put your show onto there, but you also host other shows that end up coming onto Stitcher, because it's just really an RSS feed anyway. So that goes through Blueberry.
Right. We've got about 9,500 media creators that we work with at Rawvoice and our verticals, which include Blueberry, Tech Podcast Network, which you're part of, ProMed Network, Travelcast Network, and we're just actually introducing a brand new property which will not be available on apps, which is called Q2, which is a premium content service. But we can talk about that here in a minute.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going other ventures is you're creating a new way for people to consume video a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we have a plugin for WordPress called PowerPress, and it's the premier podcasting plugin for PowerPress. And it's used widely in the space. Probably it's the default plugin that most podcasters use if they're on the WordPress platform. But we're introducing a new thing called Metamarks. And what Metamarks is kind of a cool way. What we found is that content creators, if they want to put ads in their content, they have to continually, if they want to have that those ads stay fresh, they have to rebuild the content, which is kind of a pain. There also has been really no way to engage the audience during playback. So they're listening, they're hearing what the host has to say, or they're watching the content on a web browser or whatever device. But this new feature we're adding is called Metamarks. And what's going to allow the content creator to do is at a specific point, let's say at 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the content, he's going to say, hey, I want a hyperlink that's going to pop up that if they're watching on the web, they can click on, and the person will actually get a new browser launched in another window. Won't take them away from the content, but it'll launch a new browser. Or let's say I want to have them make a comment. They can make a comment right in the little box that's going to pop up. Or take a survey. Or better yet, at 4 minutes and 32 seconds, I want an ad to be run. This is where, if there's an ad available, this is the place I want it to be placed. We're going to release it with 4 features initially. We've got in the wraps 8. So we want to kind of see how the first 4 go, and then we'll roll the rest of the features out over time. We're going to open up the API and talk about it to the public so that we hope companies like Microsoft, for example, who do not have any podcast in the Xbox, will consider bringing the media into the Xbox, because now they're going to have placement marks on where to run ads, and if they ever decide they want to do rev share with content creators, they're going to be able to. It's just going to be another tool that we hope the community will adopt, and it's all going to be, all this metadata, or meta marks, are going to be embedded in tags within the RSS feed. So that's the cool part about it. It's going to be open, and we're just trying to help move the ball forward for content creators and doing engagement type stuff, and also helping us maybe get into some other devices we haven't been in the past.
This is for video. Will this reach to audio eventually? Or?
It will. And the thing is, most people, when they're listening to audio, they're not watching their browser or anything else. So we have to come up with a way on how we're going to prompt them to either look at the screen or look at the playback to determine. I don't know if we're going to do that through a soft tone. It's kind of, we're still working with it, but it'll probably going to be video to begin with.
Now we could talk about a whole bunch more. I mean, you got the podcast awards that are going to happen today at 1:30. But the big thing I want to talk about is the CES run, because that's a big part of our year, your year and my year as well, and our booth at CES.
We've been invited back again by the CEA to have a live broadcast booth at CES. Last year we had over 50 hours of live content. 400,000 viewer hours were actually accumulated during the event. The 270 some interviews that we did, that we put up after the show, reached over 30 million consumers. As a matter of fact, they continue to hammer away and get more views every day, because this is content that's evergreen, that lasts. You know, we've got content that we put up 2 years ago. They're still getting hits. So this is a great opportunity for companies that want to be involved and get some serious exposure at CES. They should reach out to us at Rawvoice if they're interested. But it's going to be great for consumers, because we're going to be out there in the trenches. We'll have a team live for the entire show, and then we'll have 2 floor teams that will be covering the event and get in all the small nooks and crannies of vendors that won't be able to come to the booth and talk to us live. So it's going to be good, as it always is.
A lot of exciting times and just a lot of fun in the upcoming year. So, all right, well, Todd, thank you very much. Rawvoice.com, of course, geeknewscentral.com for the podcast, and that's where you go. If you're a podcaster out there and you need a place to host your stuff, you go to BLUBRRY.com. Blueberry.com is the place to go for that, and so much more on there.
And of course, make sure that you subscribe to the show via the Stitcher app, so that you get the show every time. That way you never miss an episode of the Geek News Central podcast.
There you go. We got tons more video for Blog World New Media Expo. This is Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com and Stitcher Smart Radio. Just stay tuned to this channel.